Okay, let's talk really briefly about planning content. One of the things you should think about when you write your content and for any contributions you make to the website is that the goal and the aim is to prioritize engagement. And what's meant by that is to maximize and do things in a way that you are going to actually have contact with people through your website. Way of getting there is by setting some clear objectives on how you intend to do that. And having a game plan, bringing a game plan to the table, can make that a lot easier. You can start by asking yourself questions about the content that you're posting. Uh, Simply enough, what's the content about and why are you posting this content? And who do you want to engage in this content that you're posting? And as in all situations, when you have response from individuals about the content, that's a good measure of success because it means that you are actually engaging readers and people to actually think about the content that you post to your site and to want to be involved and have a relationship with your site. And with everything that you write, or whether when it's opinion based or whether it's a discussion about anything, it's always a good idea to apply a good amount of research and reference to what you post. And I can't stress how important it is to prioritize linking when you post. As mentioned in some of the other video tutorials, linking is the act by which your activity is seen by the search engines. It promotes your website inherently on the web. Your site is already search engine optimized, meaning that nothing needs to be done for the search engines to find you in terms of writing code, but to raise visibility, actually having interaction with individuals on your website increases the visibility in terms of search rankings. The search engine algorithms take that into consideration in terms of you being a valid site that the community is interested in. So prioritizing links is a very important aspect, and adding as many links that are relevant to your discussions and to your articles and to your postings will be advantageous to you in the future. Always accredit any material that you use from anywhere else, whether it's a photograph from a photographer that may be over the internet or from another website, or an actual in-house photographer that you work with. Always give credit because it's good practice, and as well as if you infringe on someone's wishes and use an image without their approval, generally it's seen in a lot better taste, and it's understood that you had no ill will in terms of using any of their intellectual property, and that you gave original credit to the originator of whatever material that you're using. So whether it's a quote or whether it's an image, in terms of the internet, this is intellectual property now. And unfortunately, some people do go overboard and file lawsuits with other individuals over things that are utilized on their websites. And just by being a good neighbor, it's always a good practice to avoid any kind of altercations with other people that are out there in the web sphere, especially if you're using their material to help promote your site. Another important item is to work in a familiar environment, such as working in Microsoft PowerPoint or Microsoft Word or Excel or your favorite image editor, to pretty much structure your documents before you go to WordPress. It's very easy to work in these environments that you're familiar with. It's also very easy to get the content into WordPress once you go through the video tutorials if you haven't already. And you'll see that it makes sense because you also have a backup working on your local computer, and until someone gets used to the the WordPress interface, you can always go back and re-get your copy, as well as learn the environment and get comfortable with the environment by just copying and pasting your content. Also keep in mind that creating contributions to your website is a community effort. Delegate responsibilities. It's especially in the beginning, there are a lot of aspects to work with, and they're not intimidating. They're all very easy, but still, it helps one get better at learning each particular role if one is assigned a role, and as well as one's knowledge can grow about that role and share that knowledge with the web group at large. So that said, for instance, a sample workflow might be you'd have one individual who was the actual article author, who wrote copy or performed some interviews, and they want to get this content onto the web, and maybe the pastor gave them charge to write the story, and then you may have another individual who who is actually your staff photographer, or someone who can just actually pull together all the images needed to support the article. Then it could have someone actually do proofreading, spell checking, and fact checking for any external resources that the article may reference. And then you may have someone who actually deals specifically with the website, so the WordPress site, and actually promoting to Facebook, and posting on Facebook and other social media that's out there, actually uploading the videos, if there are videos associated with the web contribution. And it's really essentially that simple. Where can you get more ideas? As always, you can search the web. WordPress is a very common tool. Predominantly, I think the loose number is approximately 80% of the websites in the world are powered by WordPress. So by doing a web search, you are going to find additional answers beyond the ones, or in addition to the ones that I've given you, about how to work with the website. Good keywords on this topic, specifically about planning content, and how to actually go about structuring workflows. You can use keywords such as workflow, tips, best practice, obviously WordPress, and so on and so on. I'll leave it to you to use your imagination. And again, any brick walls, you can always find me here at my URL, desdevdopp.info.